Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Just thought we'd have a look at these photos together of the 2022 Range Rover. These are the photos that have been doing the rounds on social media and the internet, so I thought it'd be a good idea to put them all in one place, have a bit of a chat about them. I'll have a look at the photos, see what's different to the previous model, see what we can point out. Just thought it'd be good to have a look at it together. It's officially going to be revealed on the 26th of October. 2021, so we'll look forward to that, but for now we've just got these photos, so let's have a look at them together. Okay, let's start with the side profile of the car. So we can see it's still a typical Range Rover shape with the two-box kind of setup that they've got here. And if we work from the front of the car towards the back, so we can see we've got slightly new shaped headlights that seem to sort of blend into the front wing a little bit more than the previous one, and we can also see slightly different shaped daytime running lights on those. Front bumper's got a slightly different shape to it. On the previous model, just where that grille is there at the bottom, there'd normally be some little sort of vents, sort of linear vents on top of that, so that's obviously been changed. We'll talk a little bit more about the front grille when we look at the front shot of the car. Obviously a new wheel design that we've got there. We've never seen those before. They look like something like, I'd say 21 inch, maybe 22 inch wheels, something like that. Moving back, the wings and the doors there are very different from what we're used to. So silver design with sort of a body coloured inlay on those as well. I imagine if you opt for the black pack, which I'm sure they'll offer with the car, they will be fully blacked out as well. And also notice we've got black door mirrors as well. Normally you'd only get the black door mirrors if you went for the exterior black pack. So that's interesting. Obviously we've got the what's sort of become the usual deployable door handles with the keyless entry and exit button within them, so that's nothing new. A slightly different shape to what we've been used to, a bit more sort of curvy at the end. If you look at the Velar ones, or the ones on the Jaguar I-Pace, etc., they're quite sort of angular. These are slightly different, look a little bit smaller as well. And then if you look at the sort of shoulder line of the car, we've got this sort of design line that flows underneath it, which towards the back of the car is sort of, it stops before it reaches the very end of the car. And then it's sort of got this sort of design within it, which is a little bit sort of different, creative. And then just along the bottom of the car, we've got what looks like sort of plastic body mouldings along the bottom of the doors and the side skirts. And there's sort of a little bit of sculpting within the doors and onto the rear wing again, which is, it follows the sort of same lines that we're used to, but we've never really had any sort of sculpting on those doors. It's always been quite slab-sided, so that's different. And then, of course, we've got a slightly different rear end on the car, which we'll talk about when we have a look at the rear of the car. Okay, so moving to the front of the car then. So, obviously, we've got a whole new setup at the front with a new grille, new bumper, new shape headlights. So, start with the headlights then. So, we've got the traditional sort of daytime running lights shape. Looks like, again, LED headlights that we're all used to, but they look slightly slimmer on this one than the previous model. We've also got the daytime running lights sort of incorporated into the grille itself. Again, that's something we're used to from the previous car. And then the grille looks like we're sort of running out of ideas for grille designs, really. So we've gone with this sort of rectangular kind of mesh design setup here. Not sure I like that. I probably want to have the black pack if we're going to have that kind of grille. Again, it just sort of seems just a little bit odd to me. So, you know, I'd need to see the car before I made a decision on whether I like that or not. Moving down to the lower of the front bumper, we've got these sort of two silver inserts, and then the fog light sort of built within there as well. Not a brilliant picture, but obviously you can see underneath the number plate, if you look very closely, that's obviously radars for collision detectors, active cruise control and what have you, all in there that we're used to. And then underneath we've got this kind of scuff plate. I can't remember if we had that on the previous model, but it's sort of like a silver scuff plate for the very underneath of the bumper, so for any off-roading, however likely or unlikely the car's likely to do that. And then again, looking down the side profile, we've got a slightly different view of those new wheels. We've got a different view of those side grills. Everything we discussed previously, I can't really see anything else different in there. Again, those black door mirrors, they look like the same ones that we had on the previous model. I'm not an expert on mirror shapes, but they do look very familiar. Yeah, not a lot else to say about that really. So that's the front end. Right, so the rear of the car then. So this is where things sort of move away from what we've been used to on previous models. So the most obvious change is, of course, the lights. So the lights have now moved upwards onto the top of the rear wings, sort of incorporating in the rear wings. They are actually split rear lights, which you'll see when I show you a slightly different photo. But you'll see that they're split rear lights. So imagine brake lights at the top, indicators at the bottom. I imagine that the reverse lights and fog lights are sort of within the sort of lower part of the bumper. You can see it there, just above the sort of design or sort of scuff plate there, if you want to call it that. We've still got the split tailgate, but if you look at the bottom half of it, where if you look underneath the number plate where there's that silver strip there, that's presumably where it splits, and that looks a lot shorter than it was on the previous model. And by that I mean you can actually stand closer to the boot of the car when it's open. So if you're a short person, trying to reach the back of the luggage area when that's open was quite difficult. So hopefully that's allowed for that to happen much easier. Looks like we've got this sort of gloss black area where the Range Rover badge or lettering is going to be. Don't know if that's permanent or not. I imagine when you go for the black pack, the Range Rover badging will go black, so that'll just be sort of a black area. You won't really notice much of that. It's obviously going to have the usual hidden away rear wash wipe, so that'll be under that sort of subtle boot lid spoiler there at the very top. And as I mentioned previously, we've got this new design for rear reversing lights and fog lights, etc. What I can't see in this photo is any evidence of an exhaust system, so this could well be the all-electric version that we're looking at here. You see on the side there, we've actually got the fuel filler cap, which is traditionally where Range Rover fuel filler caps would be on a petrol or diesel. That may well now be the charge socket for the electric version. So again, we don't know what we're looking at the moment. It's literally just been revealed. So this may well be an electric one, it may not, but I can't see from this photo if there's an exhaust in there, as I say. Let me know what you think on this one in the comments. All right, moving on to the interior then. So first thing that we can see is, of course, the new steering wheel design. So we've got now the option in a Range Rover, which we never had before, to have the sort of inner part of the steering wheel itself in a different colour. So on this one, it looks like we've got the ivory interior, and we've got ivory leather on the inner part of the steering wheel, and we've got the ebony leather on the outer part of the steering wheel. That has, of course, been available in things like the Velar and the F-Pace, Jaguar and things like that for quite some time, but never on a on a Range Rover. We've also got a new design for the central part with the airbag. So we've got what looks like the same sort of shape as what you get on a Defender. And then we've also got the glossy hidden until lit buttons, usual kind of thing there. But then we've now gone to this sort of two-spoke steering wheel arrangement. So there's no sort of a 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock and a 9 o'clock sort of setup that we used to have on the previous car. We've just got these two sort of silver aluminium look spokes in the centre there, which it does look quite smart, quite like that. We've got the usual indicator stalks there with the metal sort of tips, which they were from the previous model, so that's nothing new. We've also got a digital dash there, which looks to now be incorporating the new style of digital dash. Doesn't look to be any different from what we're used to. So that's got the standard dash that we're used to in things like the new Velar, the new F-Pace, new E-Pace, etc., etc. Of course, we've now got the curved screen Pivot Pro system, so that'll be the 11.4-inch curved screen there. Again, that's nothing that's out of the ordinary that I can see on there. And then moving down, we've got our climate control, which again, that's the same sort of setup as you'd get on a Jaguar F-Pace. So it looks like we've got the push-pull dials on the outer sections there, and then the sort of touchscreen buttons in the middle there. So again, that's nothing new. We've also got the drive mode dial on the centre console there from the F-Pace. and the new gear selector, which is finding its way into everything at the moment. So again, Velar set up there on the centre gear lever. If you've got a Velar, you know what that's all about. Same as on the new E-Pace, new F-Pace, etc, etc. Push button start is now on the centre console as well, and just behind it we can see the dial for volume and the on-off switch for the radio. If you look in the top left-hand corner, you'll also notice a slightly different setup there. We've got, for the first time, a sort of little quarter light there. On the previous model, that was sort of taken up with the mirror housing. On this one, we've got a quarter light, and then just below it, so the door mirror actually does connect up, not on the bodywork, it's actually through the glass. So that little box there is of course where the door mirror would connect onto the door. And it looks like it's incorporating as well the sort of little tweeter speakers as well into that, which is a little bit strange. We'll have to have a look at that when we get the chance. And then on the door card itself, we've got the seat switches, and it looks like the seat switches, as in for moving the seats, now incorporate buttons, which I'm guessing, since there's 4 of them, will be for memory 1, 2 and 3, and then the memory button itself, which is quite a smart idea, quite like that. And we've also now got a what looks like a pull door handle on the door card there, whereas previously you'd sort of put your hand in a little sort of cut-out section and pull the door towards you. Now we've got an actual grip handle on the door there as well. Not much else to talk about on the interior there. Again, these are very early shots of the car, so we don't really know if there's any sort of different seat sculpting. It does look like they've gone back to sculpted leather rather than the traditional just sort of flat seats on the 2018 model. I imagine, I can't see on this picture, but I imagine the seats will be perforated for heating and cooling, etc. Of course, you're going to have your massage features on the higher up models as well. Again, we don't know what that's going to look like, but that's the interior. Okay, so just a couple of bonus pictures at the end of the video then. So let me know what you think of the new 2022 Range Rover. Is it as different as you were hoping for? Is there anything that you think they've missed, or they should have done? Anything you don't like? Let me know in the comments. Again, these photos that you're looking at now, these are just a few photos from the internet. As you can see, it's got traditional door handles on this one and a slightly different side grille on it. So I imagine this is some sort of test car that they've been using. But yeah, thank you very much for watching the video. Looking forward to the reveal on the 26th of October 2021. I believe you can actually watch it on the Land Rover website, so let me know if you are going to be doing that. And thank you ever so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.